Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. First off, I just want to apologise for my absence. I have made a couple of changes to my business recently, which meant that I just didn't have time to think about filming content or YouTube, so I just put a pause on making videos for a little while. I removed the made-to-order listings of my very popular pigeons off my website. The listings that have been sustaining me for the last 2 years, which was absolutely terrifying. And I did feel a little bit silly doing this at first, because whilst they are a lot of work to make, they were so popular that it was guaranteed and very reliable income. So I did feel a bit silly sort of turning that down, but I really wanted to claim back some of my time and just give myself the room to experiment with textiles again and find the joy in creating again, because I felt like I'd kind of lost that along the way. All I've ever wanted to be is an artist. The last few months have just been feeling very claustrophobic, and I haven't had any time or room to experiment and just make art for art's sake. And I've been feeling more like a warehouse worker than an artist, so something had to change. So I spent the last 8 weeks getting my final orders out. I think I had about 132 made-to-order pigeons to work through, but they are all out and shipped now, which is so exciting. I've started to work on a bunch of really fun commissions, and I'm still making pigeons, but because I'm making them on my own terms and my own time, it feels like a lot more of an enjoyable process. So I am taking things a little bit slower at the moment, but I do have a really long list of things that I want to work on throughout this year. I would really love to get back into using my sketchbook consistently, and I also really want to focus on painting as well. That's something that I'm really keen to improve on, and of course I have a ton of ideas for textile pieces. I feel like my brain is just brimming with ideas at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out how to turn them into something tangible, and hopefully I'll be able to share this with you in future videos. Just got back to the studio after having a really lazy morning. It felt so weird not having anything to do because I got all of my made-to-order orders out yesterday, and this is the first time in like a year and a half where I don't feel super stressed about getting orders out within lead times and stuff. So I've been having a really nice, relaxing morning. I took my book to a coffee shop and then had a little mooch around the charity shops and made a couple of purchases. So I showed you this in the charity shop, but I got these, which I believe are just like coasters, like fabric, quilted fabric coasters. I don't know what I'm going to do with these little ones, but these bigger ones, there's 4, I want to make something with them. I'm thinking some embroidery, or like kind of want to cut out some letters and stick it on, and then add some like sari silk or something just to make a little cute wall hanging. I don't know, I just felt quite inspired when I found them. Also, I really love the print. They were £3.50, and then I was really excited to find this because I wanted one this size for ages. Loom that someone already started. I just think it's a really good size for like travel, and just whack it in my bag so I can weave on the go, which will be fun. Then I got a bunch of embroidery floss, a bunch of really nice colours, and I tried to either match or contrast with this. And then I popped to a local fabric like market store and I just got a bunch of calico just because it's really nice for embroidery and stuff. 2 cotton fabrics because I want to cut out some letters for this. Although I didn't take this with me, so I didn't know what colours would look good. But actually I think they will both work. So that's everything I got. I think I'm going to spend some time brainstorming some ideas, replying to emails, got a bunch of emails about some commissions, and maybe trying to figure out what I want to do with these. I don't know if the best thing to do is just use like chalk to mark out my letters. It does work, but I don't know how well it's going to come off. So I don't really want to freehand it because I just know that all the letters will be weird sizes. Okay, let's do... Okay. Okay, this is probably going to be quite a tight fit, but I feel like don't kick the pigeons. It's definitely easier to cut like a little square first. Okay, for some reason I always really struggle to draw like a backwards N. My brain just can't comprehend it. I need to... So that's a forwards N. That's backwards N. So a backwards N would be... No. Why is that so hard? Why can't I do a backwards N? Just reverse it. No, that's a H. What the heck? Okay. Okay. I'm going to cut out a template first. We have one word. That N took me way longer than I care to admit. Doing a backwards N, just my brain just couldn't compute that for some reason. So I think I'm going to go with I love pigeons instead because I want to do some felted things here. I just think it makes it a little bit more interesting, and also I want to blanket stitch around the letters, and some of these ones for the don't kick the pigeons were quite small, so I just don't think it would work very well because this linen does fray ever so slightly. I think if I was to do don't kick the pigeons I would need to use felt or something. First letter done. No, but bones, needles, spiky. Decided to just go out for a little bike ride and stumbled upon the most beautiful church and graveyard. It is so stunning, and I think I found the perfect place to have a cup of tea because I brought my flask. So I'm going to find somewhere to sit, have some tea. So I'm playing around with what I want to do on my next quilted placemat, and I really want to do a hand holding a bird. I'm kind of basing it loosely off of this like crappy sketch from months ago and this bird whistle. So I cut out a hand, although this one's a little bit too small, so I've resized to this guy, which is a lot bigger, and this bird. And I'm going to do the hand in pink fabric, sort of like this. This was a smaller one. And I want to do the bird in red and then do contrast stitching on them both. Just kind of figuring out where I want, if I want the hand to be coming in from the side and then I could have like some font here, or if I want it to be like the main piece. But I do have 2 more of these after this one, so I suppose I could do one of each really. I think I finally got a size and position that I like. This is something that I've always wanted to do. I have always wanted to make little hand sewn like embroidered labels for the back of my textile pieces. And now that I've shifted the focus over to sort of small batch orders and commissions, it's something that I finally can find the time to do. These water soluble embroidery sheets have come in really handy. I didn't want to faff about freehanding my name over and over, so they've been great, and I'm using this natural coloured calico for my fabric. The plan is to cut them out a little smaller than this probably, and hand sew them onto the back of my textile pieces, just so they've got a little more branding on there. Obviously it's going to be a lot neater than that, but I think it will look quite cute